Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the video. Greetings from South Africa. Yeah, I'm down in South Africa. Now, before anyone comments on the video, we do actually have internet down here in Cape Town, South Africa. Yeah, we do have internet. I know there are no lions or elephants walking on the road or outside my door. Okay, so the reason for this video is pretty simple. A while back, I actually played against a really decent Oracle player. I was completely stomped in lane. My laning phase was done for. We were fucked in our lane. I tried roaming, I tried going mid, I tried going safe lane because I was playing position 4 AA. And nothing worked. I think it was just too late. Then I decided, you know what, let me actually give Oracle a try. Now, my friends told me it's quite a complex hero. His abilities are quite complex. I should jump on YouTube and find some videos to teach me how to play Oracle. And I agreed. I was like, yeah, for sure. Let me jump on YouTube. I went on YouTube. I found probably 1 or 2 videos that was able to help me out. There were a bunch of gameplay videos for sure. That's exactly why I'm doing this video today. So yeah, so it's just a guide video basically on his abilities. We're going to look at his talents, what skills to level up in which order to get the most out of him, and then just, yeah, like I said, the items basically, early, mid and late game items that are really good for him in the current 7.29D patch. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so let's look at Oracle's abilities and we'll start off with his Q, Fortune's End. It's a single target channeling ability that when released damages, roots and most importantly purges enemies of buffs in an area around the target. If that target is an ally, it will only purge debuffs and not any buffs. Also, when targeted on an ally, only the targeted ally will have debuffs purged. No one in the area around them will get the debuff effect. Fortune's End can be channeled for up to 2.5 seconds. Obviously, the longer you channel, the longer the target will be rooted. His next ability is called Fate's Edict, and what it does is it basically disarms a target and grants them 100% magic damage resistance. This can be casted on both enemies and allies. Fortune's End can also dispel Fate's Edict from both allies and enemies. If you do decide to get the Agnum Scepter, it's really good on him as well. It applies a disarm to enemy targets only and the magic resistance bonus to ally targets only. Let's take a look at Oracle's third ability, Purifying Flames, which is also a single target ability. It basically has 2 steps to it. So it will first deal heavy magic damage to the target before regenerating health over time. The important thing to know is that the health regenerated always exceeds the damage dealt. Alright, this can also be stacked and allies cannot take lethal damage from Purifying Flames. So even if they've got barely any HP left, you can still use Purifying Flames on your allies and they will always regenerate more health than the damage they took. Now let's have a look at Oracle's final ultimate ability, which I think is the one that most people are confused about on how it works. It's actually pretty simple once you get the hang of it. It's called False Promise and it delays any healing or damage taken until the duration of False Promise ends. It's important to know that it doesn't block or negate any damage, it purely delays the damage. It also removes most debuffs or negative status effects and disables on initial cast. Any healing that's been done during the duration of False Promise will be doubled, so that's extremely important to remember. During False Promise, if the amount of healing done is more than the damage taken, your target will be healed, and vice versa. So if the amount of damage taken was more than the healing done to the target, that target will then take damage. Obviously, if the damage was too much, the target will die after False Promise ends. One important thing to note as well is there are some strong counters to this ultimate ability, like Axe or Ancient Apparition, for example. If the target or your ally is false promised within the threshold of Axe's Culling Blade, he can still kill the target right through false promise, and the same goes with Ancient Apparition's Ice Blast. It will basically still kill even though they've got false promise activated. So those are two of the strongest counters against Oracle. Oracle's true potential can really be seen when his abilities are combined to either help your teammates set up kills or just to completely nuke an enemy into oblivion. The first combo is Fortune's End and Purifying Flames. Now if you remember, Fortune's End debuffs any positive buffs on enemies, and Purifying Flames has the two steps to it, where it firstly damages the enemy and then heals them over time. So we obviously don't want to heal our enemy, so what we would do is, for example, cast our Fortune's End on the enemy, and then as soon as you decided to stop channeling that ability, you immediately activate Purifying Flames on the enemy. So what will happen is they will take the damage from Purifying Flames, and then right after that, Fortune's End will obviously dispel the positive healing buff that is activated on the enemy. Another really good combo with Oracle would be his Fate's Edict, the W, and Purifying Flames, E. What that would do is basically heal your allies. So if you remember, Fate's Edict grants the target 100% magic resistance. So that means if we activate Fate's Edict on our ally and then afterwards activate Purifying Flames, they won't take the initial damage from Purifying Flames. So they will only get the healing over time. And at level 1, Fate's Edict, you're actually able to activate Purifying Flames 2 times. The timing is a bit tight, but it's possible to activate Purifying Flames twice with level 1 Fate's Edict. I think a really important aspect of Oracle is knowing when to use his second ability as well, Fate's Edict, and it's purely because of the fact that it gives 100% magic resistance and disarms either an enemy or an ally. So if you, for example, had a Lina on your team and the Lina decided to fight, and you've disarmed and given the enemy 100% magic resistance, your Lina's ultimate will do absolutely no damage to the target. I think that also kind of defines a good Oracle player, knowing when and when not to use Fate's Edict. And that can really make a difference between a team fight if you've used your Fate's Edict on the right or wrong target. Right, so when it comes to the leveling of Oracle's abilities, we'll start with the point in Fortune's End. That can really help early game laning phase wise, where you can dispel any negative buffs that have been thrown on our safe lane core or our off lane cores. After that, we can go 2 points at level 2 and 3 to Purifying Flames. It's important to know that Oracle kind of gets a decent power spike at level 3, so what I normally do is have like 2 or 3 mangoes ready at level 3, and then I can start spamming the enemies with the Fortune's End and Purifying Flames combo, and it really does a decent amount of damage. We don't really level up our Fortune's End that much because it just doesn't scale that much, and the channeling and routing is the same basically. It always depends on how long you channel, that's how long the enemy will be routed for. At level 5, once again, we go for Purifying Flames because that's our OP ability, and then at level 6 we get our ultimate. After that, at level 7 you've already got max Purifying Flames, and then after that you just go full to Fate's Edict, max that out, get your ultimate obviously whenever you can, and then for the rest of the time you finish your Fortune's End. When it comes to Oracle's talents, there are a few ways of building this, but generally I would go for 12 Intelligence at level 10. This effectively grants Oracle 144 mana, 0.6 mana regen, and then 12 attack damage as well. At level 15 we go plus 15 armor during False Promise, level 20 minus 20 second False Promise cooldown, and then lastly at level 25 I normally go instant Fortune's End, but depending on the game you could also go plus 1.5 second False Promise duration. Right, so let's have a quick look at the items we normally buy for Oracle. I mean, each game will be situational, but these are the general items we normally get for him. Starting items I normally just go 6 tangos, 2 healing salves, we get the wards, obviously, observer, 1 sentry, we get a mango and we get a fairy fire. In the early game, your goal is to get yourself some arcane boots, a magic wand and a windlace. Now guys, do not underestimate the power of the windlace. That extra additional movement speed granted by this item can really help Oracle to select an effective position and always join fights in time. In the mid game, it is wise to disassemble the arcane boots and then you use the energy booster from the arcane boots to build your Aether Lens, because he really sucks with fast range. As an addition to Aether Lens, you will need to get yourself an item which will improve your survivability. That could be something like a Glimmer Cape or, for example, a Force Staff. In the late game, you might find a Blink Dagger handy. This is going to allow you to save your teammates from a long distance, but like I said, it always depends how the game goes. Situational items always have a huge impact on your game. To counter silences, for example, it can be great to get yourself a Lotus Orb or Guardian Greaves. Aeon Disc is going to help protect you from the initiations of your opponents, while something like a Ghost Scepter may protect you from an aggressive attack of enemy cores. So yeah guys, that's it for the video. Keep in mind, it is really basic how to play Oracle video, and if you do want a more detailed gameplay video, for example, let me know in the comments below, and we can have a look at that. Otherwise, I hope I was able to help someone out there to know how to play Oracle now, at least, or at least understand how he works if you're learning against him. But yeah, that's it for now. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below.